What is going on, everybody? It's the Franz, and we're here for a SmackDown review for January the 29th, 2020, as well as the Royal Rumble predictions, because it is the Royal Rumble coming up to you this Sunday on the WWE Network and from Tropicana Field. So, tonight's show was terrible. The entire, from 9:20 to the end of the show, we had a singles match turn into a 6-man, turn into a 9-man, turn into a 10-man. It was just so bad, convoluted mess. I don't know who thought that was a good fucking idea. But, of course, this is WWE. They don't know shit anymore. So, tonight was the go-home show, and holy shit, this was terrible. Absolutely bad. Adam Pearce was not in the building tonight, or not on screen tonight, because, as Serena Deville said, it's because of what happened last week. They were giving him the week off. So, she was in charge. And honestly, if this is how she's going to book things, she should be fired. Sorry. Just terrible, terrible, terrible all around. So, let's see here. So, we start the show off with Daniel Bryan already in the ring. He comes out, and he's the babyface. He's a babyface. He comes out and pretty much has to treat the WWE Universe as idiots because he has to explain all the rules to a Royal Rumble match because we're idiots. We don't know the rules to a Royal Rumble match, apparently. Then he gets to the fact that he's excited for the Royal Rumble because he doesn't know how many more moments in wrestling he's going to have, how many more WrestleMania moments, how many more chances he's going to get to win a Royal Rumble, and it's the one thing in his career that he has not done, and that's win the Royal Rumble. He's like a 5-time WWE champion. He's won Money in the Bank. He's a former World Heavyweight Champion, former Tag Team Champion, and the one thing he wants to do before he calls it a career is win the Royal Rumble. Out comes AJ Styles with Omos. And we're wondering, why is AJ Styles here? Well, it's the quarterly brand-to-brand invitational, and he would not be the only one coming to from Raw to SmackDown. So it tells you that probably on Raw this coming Monday, you're going to see some SmackDown stars for the quarterly brand, the brand's invitational. They talk for a bit, and then Daniel Bryan challenged AJ to a match for later on in the show. And Daniel Bryan's like, you know what? If you were a man, you come out to this match tonight without Omos. Because Daniel Bryan's not going to have anybody there, which that makes sense. And that was pretty much the gist of the beginning thing. I don't like the fact that Daniel Bryan has to go out there and pander to everyone and try and tell everybody, hey, this is how you win a Royal Rumble. This is what you need to do. You're an idiot. I'm a smart person. Come out there, be like, we're ready. I'm excited for the Royal Rumble. And just have you, say, why you're out here, why you might not have much left. You don't have much left, and the Royal Rumble is just, it's one of those ones that you haven't done it yet. He hasn't done, two things, really, in my opinion. He hasn't won King of the Ring, which probably is never going to happen, and he's never won the Royal Rumble, and he wants to do that, and that's the one thing that he wants to do, so he can help main event WrestleMania one more time. As for the match itself, when it comes on later, this should have been a great way to end the show. Have these guys go out. They give you a 20-minute match, fighting because they want to be, they want to have the momentum going into the Royal Rumble. Now, technically speaking, why would you want to have a match so close to the Royal Rumble? You should probably want to, keep yourself refreshed, keep yourself fresh as a daisy going into the Rumble. You can risk injury coming out there to coming out there and having this match. So there's that. So we start with Bianca Belair versus Bayley, and Michael Cole has the audacity to say this is probably the biggest match in Bianca Belair's young career. And I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't these two have a match about 2, 3, 4 weeks ago? What makes that match bigger than this one? Oh, Is it because Bayley won that match and Bianca Belair clearly winning this one because you set it up just by your commentary that she's winning this match? I mean, come on, Michael. Good match between these two here, and Belair wins with the KOD. That is that. After the match, she gets all excited. She's talking to Kayla Braxton. Talks about proving herself and beating Bayley after everything that's happened. Bayley sees in the ring. Belair calls this the biggest win of her career. Belair says the only thing that will top Bayley is her winning the Women's Royal Rumble and then challenging for the title at WrestleMania. And that was that. So we have King Corbin or Baron Corbin versus Dominic. Before the match, Dominic attacks Corbin from behind. We go to the match. Rey Mysterio is out on commentary. He's not happy with the fact that his son went out there and attacked him from behind. He didn't teach him that, but he taught him everything else that he's doing. And they are definitely pushing for Dominic to eventually split from his father. That is where it feels like they're going with the fact that Dominic was on commentary a couple weeks ago, and you have Corey Graves trying to push that wedge between him and his father. Rey Mysterio is on commentary tonight, and again, Corey Graves is trying to push that wedge between father and son. So I just feel that eventually it's going to get to the point where Dominic is going to feel like his dad's holding him back, and he eventually does turn on it. Maybe that's the match at WrestleMania. Maybe we have Dominic versus Rey Mysterio. If Rey Mysterio is to lose, he retires from wrestling. I do have to say something about Dominic, though, is that he really wants to carve a path his own way. He's got to stop using Daddy's moveset. He's got to stop doing everything that his daddy does. He does. I mean, it's the luchador stuff he's trying to do, and I know that's hard to not do as a wrestler. But, dude, you're sitting there doing everything your father does. You do the 619. Come up with your own stuff, dude. Stop trying to be Rey Mysterio light because you're going to just be compared to your father for here and the rest of your life. Try and do things yourself. Try and break out in your own mold. In the end, Corbin wins pretty easily. Nothing else to do there. Corbin stands tall. He rolls to the ringside. Rey takes off his headset. Corbin taunts Rey. He enters the ring, but Corbin grabs him off the apron. Scoops him up, but Rey counters and drives Corbin face first into the ring post. Rey with the senton off the apron goes over and checks on his son while Corbin lays flat on his back in front of the announcers. Big E is backstage with Sonya Deville and wants to know his Royal Rumble number. Gives her $1 and says he has an Arby's coupon coming her way. Good fucking grief. When the clowns, Miz and Morrison, show up on TV. And, for fuck's sake. The clowns are here, so SmackDown just takes a big nosedive. They have words with Big E, then they start beating up on Big E, but Big E fights them off, and that's pretty much that. Nothing special there. Anytime Miz and Morrison are on TV, it just makes it just takes the show down. Morrison deserves better than what he's getting right now. He's getting a raw deal having to hang out with the Miz for the last year. People saying we need to showcase his talents, but when you're straddled with the Miz, then you're going to be hampered forever. Now, it was announced Tamina will take on Natalya on the special airing of Backstage, and the winner will earn the number 30 spot. Here's my thing. They have announced that tomorrow on Backstage. The Men's Rumble 1 and 2 spot will be announced, and of course that match is going to happen with Natalya and Tamina. I have a big problem with this. The whole idea behind the Rumble match is we as fans not knowing who's number 1, who's number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 30. It's all supposed to be surprises. Oh, your favorite superstar came out at number 2. Can he make it? Probably not. Or when you have a number 2 that you don't know. Now, the only reason I feel they're going to be doing the number 1 and number 2 spot tomorrow, which we'll talk about here in a bit. Okay, we're going to leave that for the predictions. So, we see SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks matched with Reginald last week. She's walking backstage. Kalisto greets her and compliments her, then keeps walking. Reginald appears next to her and says he comes in peace. He gives her a bottle of wine and says this is from Carmella, who asked him to pick the best bottle of wine for Banks. Banks starts flirting with Reginald, complimenting him on his French accent. She asks what's his best bottle of wine she can give to Carmella that she can sip with a broken jaw. She changes the tune and still is gunning for Reginald and Carmella. She gives the bottle back to Reginald and tells him to keep it because it looks like he could use a drink. And that match is going to happen at the pay-per-view. Cole leads us to a video package of Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, and that leads us to a sit-down between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. And before that, am I on the right thing? Oh yeah, before that I had Shinsuke Nakamura. Had Shinsuke Nakamura backstage, and Sami Zayn comes up to him, trying to talk him up, trying to get him to side with him, because he's trying to put a wedge in between Cesaro and Nakamura, which is going to happen eventually. And in the end, he's like, everything that's good about your career in WWE is because of me. Nakamura is like, thank you, Sami, for everything. But go to hell. Awesome. Then we go to that thing between Universal Champion Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. Now, the gist of this was Roman Reigns disrespects Kevin Owens' father, and disrespects Kevin Owens' grandfather. And Kevin Owens is like, my father and grandfather would have told me that to called you a jackass, and stuck up jackass, and that when this is all said and done, I'm going to be the Universal Champion. Pretty much it. Nothing special else other than that. Now, let's see here. Then we go to the rest of the show. So, Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. This match is happening. Cesaro's on commentary. Sami Zayn comes out halfway through the match, a good portion through the match. So, he's out there. He's got his signs. Big E eventually comes out. He knocks Sami Zayn over. Throws Sami Zayn into Cesaro. Cesaro and him have a brawl for a bit. Cesaro kicks him. Knocks him over. So, Sami Zayn goes into the ring. Beats up on Daniel Bryan. Out comes Nakamura. We have a 6-man tag match. So, this match is happening for a good bit. Then Miz and Morrison come down. Big E's in the middle of the ring. He's like, come on, boys, bring it on. So Big E, they come down. They beat up on Big E. The ref calls for the bell. So Otis comes out. No Chad Gable. They have a brawl. He cleans the house. We go to commercial break. We come back, and we have a 9-person tag match. So this goes for a little bit longer. Sheamus comes out, making it a 10-person tag match. He cleans house. Eventually hits the bro kick on a Sami Zayn who's coming in for the haluva kick. 1, 2, 3, and the babyfaces win. But the heels start beating up on Sheamus. For whatever reason. They start beating him up. Braun Strowman makes his return. He was suspended, remember. I forgot about this, but he was suspended. This is how much Braun Strowman has become irrelevant. He has been gone since the Monday after Survivor Series because he beat up on Adam Pearce after Adam Pearce was trying to decide how he was going to do Drew's opponent at TLC. In reality, he was injured. So, he comes back, he cleans house, and apparently he's in the Rumble. This was terrible. From start to finish. You had a match that could have went the rest of the show if they really wanted to. Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. Which, of course, if I'm correct, they had for the Intercontinental title a couple months ago. But you had this go down. Then you made it a 6-man tag match. Then you made it a 9-man tag match because it was a 4-on-5 tag team match. And then Sheamus comes down and saves the day, wins the match. And then you had Braun Strowman make his return. This whole entire thing was overbooked, convoluted, and dumb. If this is the best you could do for the rest of the show, then you might as well not have done a damn thing anyway. This was a bad episode of SmackDown. Big time. Was it as bad as Monday Night Raw? Fuck no, nothing's as bad as Monday Night Raw. But it was not good at all. This is the best they had. This was the best they had going into Royal Rumble. But what else can you think? Well, SmackDown was terrible. So let's talk about the Royal Rumble itself. The Royal Rumble, as you know, is coming to you this Sunday. We have a few matches here. As you know, Royal Rumble has two Royal Rumble matches. Now, as I said earlier, the number 30 spot for the Women's Royal Rumble match will be either Natalya or Tamina. Dumb. But also, they're going to announce who's number 1 and number 2. The only reason I can see them doing this is because whoever's number 1 and number 2 are going to be number 1 and number 2 at the end of the match. They're going to pull off what they did back in the 90s when Shawn Michaels and British Bulldog did this. Where you had the first 2 go out there, and we're going to probably have a rehash of that entire finish. Where the number 1 or whoever they want to have the winner is going to have 1 foot touch the floor, come back in, knock the other person out, and win the match. So, I don't know who's going to win the Women's Royal Rumble. Anyone but Charlotte. Anybody but Charlotte. I would like to see... You know what? Might as well just... let me think. Let me get to the Rumble. Let me get to everything else first, and then we'll get to the Rumbles. Sasha Banks versus Carmella. Sasha Banks is winning that one. I don't see a reason for Carmella to win that. Charlotte and Asuka versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Honestly, I think Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are winning the tag team titles back. You gave the titles to Asuka and Charlotte. And only 2 times have they actually teamed together since winning the championships. Maybe 3 times. Other than that, you have Asuka and Alexa, and you have Charlotte and Lacey. 2 different fucking storylines for the tag team champions. Not a good look. Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. Drew better win that one. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Does anyone seriously think that Kevin Owens is winning this match? I sure as hell don't. I don't think anyone else should too. Women's Royal Rumble match with number 30 either being Tamina or Natalya. I'm going to say I want it to be Bianca Belair, but I don't see WWE actually doing that. My top 3, because I can't really give you a good winner spot unless it's somebody I have a feeling of. Bianca Belair, Bayley, Shayna Baszler are my top 3 to win the Women's Royal Rumble. And the Men's Royal Rumble, number 1 and number 2 are going to probably be your last 2. So I'm going to say probably who would be good for this. Let me think. Let's see. For the men, Daniel Bryan. Because Daniel Bryan's been pushing a lot about this being the Rumble he wants to win. I think, Daniel Bryan. It's going to be one from Raw and one from SmackDown, in my opinion. So, Daniel Bryan, and I would love it to be John Morrison. I really would. But I just don't see that happening. Daniel Bryan. You know what? I'm going to say Daniel Bryan and John Morrison are your top 2. My third one for Daniel Bryan, John Morrison. My third would be Big E to be in that mix of 3. So, if one of those win, that's great. But that is the Royal Rumble predictions. Banks over Carmella, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax over Charlotte and Asuka. Drew McIntyre over Goldberg and Roman over Kevin Owens. I have Bayley, Bianca Belair, and Shayna Baszler. Big E, Morrison, and Daniel Bryan for the men's. Let me know what your Rumble predictions are. Who do you think is going to win? Hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. Like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the France Club. Find me on Twitch.tv/France Club. And find me on Instagram at the France Club. And I'll see you guys Sunday for the Rumble. Till then, my name is the France, and I'll see you guys later.